Hello all and welcome to Wayne's Allotment. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe. So far we're all okay, no problems with this COVID so far. And before I go any further, I want to thank all my subscribers. I noticed the other day that I'm over 300 subscribers now, and it's fantastic. I can't really, I don't know what to say, but thank you all very much. Really is very much appreciated. At the moment, as you can see, I'm round on the allotment because I've just harvested some carrots for our evening meal today. Put them in the bucket. And what have I got for you in this one? Well, I've got a bit of a wash and brush up job to get done. I do a bit of a help nature out a little, shall we say. I'll say no more about that. I've got a bit of seed sowing that I want to get done, so I'll show you a little bit of what I'm doing there. But before I do anything else, I think we'll get back round home, get in the greenhouse and get this wash and brush up job done. So I'll see you back home. Well, I've cleared out the buckets, or the buckets down this side of the greenhouse. Let me just spin you around and show you. Okay, so as you can see there, I have removed all the buckets that I grow my tomatoes and cucumbers in, and I'm going to wash down all the greenhouse. Do the top, the lot, do it all. I'm just using, to be honest, in that bucket there's a little bit of bleach, and then there's some car shampoo of all things that I've put in there just to clean it. I'm not bothering with Jay's fluid this year. I'd used Jay's fluid last year and this place stunk of Jay's fluid for weeks. It was horrible. So I've got them clear. I want to do something with this which will be revealed as we go on. So without further ado, let's get and crack on and get this washed down. Well, there we have it. That's a start made. I'm going to work my way all the way around this and do the other side, and that'll be all finished. I'll wipe it down with a damp cloth, and I will do the outside as well. It looks like there's a bit of muck and rubbish on the outside. These panels, I'm trying to think how old this is. I think I put this up 2016, I think 2016, 2017, something like that, the winter of. So some of these panels are a bit showing signs of wear now, showing their age. And the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that some of these panels are moving around. There's no strip at the bottom on this greenhouse, or no clips to hold the bottom strips in. There's clips up the sides, so I shall, as I do the outside, I'll just check and make sure that there's no clips missing. If there is, I've got spares, so I can just go over it, make sure it's all nice and secure for the winter. But that's, as I say, that's all done. I've done this side for a reason. All will be revealed as we go on. So yeah, just thought I'd show you me spring clean in the winter, shall we say. little bit of seed sowing to do. One thing I may possibly be a little bit late with, the other can be sown all year round, and it's shall we say, it's upgrading what I've already got. I'll show you and I'll explain. The one cauliflower, all year round, as its name suggests, can be grown all year round. It does suggest on the packet that you sow it indoors, sort of January, February, so on. Yes, I know it's November, but it's got to be done sometime, and I'm doing it now. End of. The other thing is some basil. Now that can be sown indoors, shows it here, all year round, just whenever you like. And the reason I'm doing the basil and upgrading, shall we say, is because this poor specimen, this is the basil plant from off the window ledge in the kitchen. Now I don't think I'm going to exaggerate when I say that I think we have had this 12 months. I've pruned off bits. I mean, there's you can't really see it that well, but there's just a little bit of new growth coming in on there. There's new growth on the tops of these, and I've trimmed it up. And my daughter bought this from a supermarket. You know, you get them all, and of course they look really nice. And I think I've watered it more than she has. And as I say, I'd stick my neck out and say that this is probably 12 months old. I don't know. It seems like it anyway, because it seems to have been on that window ledge for months and months and months. Seems to have been there, as I say, all year. So I think it's about time I sowed a bit of seed to help to not necessarily replace this, but to go along with this, shall we say. So that's going in, if I can find one. Sorry for getting so close, but I'm going to put that to one of these little pots. Just a little sprinkling over the top, not a lot of seed, but just a little bit of sprinkling, and that will go indoors. And we'll actually, in fact, no, we won't use that. Thinking about it, I'm going to use one of these, because then it can go into the tray in there, and it can have a cover on it, and it can go in the house. Yeah, that's a better bet. Do it in that, and it stay in the house. A little bit of warmth, keep it on a window ledge, something like that. So that will be fine with that. The cauliflower, I'm going with the Agrilan root trainer. Brilliant bit of kit. The lids to these, this is steamed up a bit because it's just been washed out, but I don't know whether you can see. Can you see that little bit of a cut out there? And you've got the same on the lid, a little bit of a cutout, so that you can place that on there. And can you just see that little bit of an air gap? Obviously you turn the lid round the other way and it will block that completely. There'll be no air gap through it, but I'm going to do it that way. As I say, great little pieces of kit, these Agrilan root trainers, because once you've filled that with well, you'll see me, I'll show you. So without further ado, let's get some compost in this and get some seed sowing. Right, first job, we'll do the cauliflower. This compost is clover with a bit of vermiculite added. That's all. It's nothing special. I've been trying all year, I've been trying various different composts, and I think I have slowly come to the conclusion that my favourite is clover. I had a spell of finding it hard to get at one point, but I've since found what I think is going to be a fairly reliable source. Now, the lid has got little indentations in it, so when you turn it over, press it down nice and firmly, and it gives you indentations for your seed. Okay, clever these Chinese. I do waffle. So the next job is with regards to seed. Now this is going to be a little bit awkward. I'm going to I've already dropped a couple of seeds in these. I'm trying to get one seed per cell. To be perfectly honest, I don't really need to. I don't really need to do all the cells, to be honest. This will stay, this Agriland trainer will stay outside in the greenhouse here. There is a little something I'm doing in preparation to shall we say store seedlings over winter, but that's a little something you'll see a little bit more about later in this video. There we go, and there's still a good amount of seed in there, so that I can sow some more a little later on in the year. And what I'm going to do with that is just sprinkle just a little bit compost over the top. Flatten that down. It will stand in a bath of water. I'm not going to water it from the top, but it will stand in a bath of water. And we mustn't forget the label, which will lie on there, and we'll put the lid that way round. Sorry about that, I got distracted, suddenly called in a household disaster. Wife found a spider in the bathroom. End of the world when the wife finds spiders, so good job there's superheroes like me that can deal with them. So without further ado, let's get back to these cauliflowers. Right, there we have it. That is the lid now on. As I say, that is going to go, rather than me just water it on top, I'm going to stand that in a bath of water, and then it's going to stay out in the greenhouse. And we'll put that down there on the floor, and we will now push them in there. We'll now get and do this basil. Again, same compost, just good old clover, multi-purpose compost. Just pat that down a little. I'm going to have a look to see what we've got in the way of seed and then decide on whether I sow all of this now or whether I sow so many now and then some a bit later in the year. I'll have a look. I might do a thin sowing, to be honest. Oh, there's quite a few seeds, but I think I'm going to do a thin sowing. Nothing, not going to go too berserk. In fact, I think that'll do. And then looking at what seeds are there, I can get another two sowings out of that. Now what we're going to do different with this, I'm going to cover this with vermiculite rather than using compost. Just a little bit of vermiculite on that, and again that will have a soak in the bath, as it were. We'll be in a water bath and mix that vermiculite in with this compost. So there we have it. Don't forget the label as well, Wayne. You're slipping. There we go. Ooh. Right, I'll spin you round and you can see what's going on. Right, so all done. We've got the basil now in its own little tray. That will now go into the house, go on a window ledge and be kept like that to keep it somewhere reasonably warm. That'll appreciate a bit of warmth. Cauliflower will now go basically back on there. I'm going to leave it where it is on there and let it do its own thing, shall we say. There's no big rush. And while we're talking about things and doing their own thing, remember in the last video I did this salad mix. This is, let's have a look, what's that? That's mixed spicy leaf. 1st of November that was sown. Today is the 15th. And this is amaranthum. I think that's how you pronounce it. Little red leaf, obviously a lot slower than the spicy leaf, but that's coming along nicely. And all I've done with that is that has been left on the table here in the greenhouse, checking it now and again, but it's basically been left to its own devices and it's coming along really well. So yes, we've got a bit of basil to help to help this poor specimen out and some cauliflower all year round. So, as I was saying earlier, there's a reason why I've cleared the greenhouse, done all the glass even, and this is it. I want to get this back in here. It's a bit of a to me to you, to you, to me to you arrangement. It won't obviously all go in one go. It does fit. I know it does seem a bit of a tight fit, but that's because it is. Simple as that. So we'll get this in here. Obviously I've had to do it in 2 stages. I've had to take the top off. But the reasoning, oh, that's better. Right, let's get the other bit. But as I say, the reasoning behind me wanting to get this back into the greenhouse is because I want to put my dahlias in here. I've had a, shall we say, a serious attempt this year at growing dahlias. Growing them from seed, buying one or two, not many, but just one or two plants when I've seen them around and about. And I want to obviously try and keep hold of them and keep them going. As you can see, it fills the gap. It's a bit snug. Next job, we get the cover on. Now there's a right and a wrong with this, and when I mean a right and a wrong, I mean if I don't get it on the right way round, the openings will be that side instead of being this side. So but yes, I had this set up in here last year. Did an absolutely brilliant job. Bit of a tight fit, but it goes on, and the good thing about it is it doesn't really need fastening on. A great deal. Now before I go too far, I'm going to unzip the openings, because if I'm not careful and I get inside to put this on, I'm going to trap myself inside it. This was a great little bit of kit. I think this cost me about £20. Right, nothing else for it but pull my trousers up and go in. Right. Get all this back sorted. And it gives a good bit of protection. I've got another little piece of kit that I can use, similar to this, and that's like a sort of multi-tiered multi-tiered greenhouse. I think it's safe to say I can come out. There we go, nice fit. And that just provides a bit of protection. I'll just show you everything. Push it back. I'll show you everything in here now. Okay, so the cover is now in place, and down there, and I'll move you in, you can see some of my dahlias. They've been cut back. They've had a top dressing of fresh compost just to give them a bit of extra protection, and they're staying in there now over winter. I've also, this end here, I've got a couple of sweet peppers, and I've done the same with them. They've been cut back and a bit of a top dressing of compost. I've known or heard of people overwintering peppers. It's something I've never done myself, so we'll give it a go and see how we get on. Well, that's it for this one. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. And it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. I have heard people say in the past about, oh, does it cost to subscribe? But no, it's not like satellite television or anything like that. Just hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon, and you'll be notified every time I put a new video up. So without further ado, I'm going to leave you to it. As I say, thank you all very much for watching, and until the next time, be good, stay safe, look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot. Ta-ra a bit.